Today, I want to build 4 tiny homes in The Sims, but each one is decided by a random generator. I love building tiny home villages, and I also love random generator challenges, so I thought it might be fun to use James Turner's tiny home challenge generator to build a whole village. It's going to give us a random number of tiles, an architecture style, a number of Sims, a couple random items to use, and our favorite, a random budget. And real quick before we get into it, I am part of the EA Creator Network, and I've been gifted a couple packs in the past. I do also have a creator code Sarah that you can use when checking out in the EA app or thesims.com if you'd like to financially support me. I will make a small commission. Let's get to the video. We're on this 40 by 30 lot in Newcrest. I think we'll be able to fit all the tiny homes on here. And for our first tiny home, we have 49 tiles that looks like it belongs in Batuu. It must have room for an adult, a young adult, and a child, and a budget of 42,000. We also must include the tri-PRE somewhere. I really did kind of forget that Batuu is a place and a pack in The Sims 4. This is 49 tiles, and it can't be more than this. It can be less. I don't know why we would do that. I'm thinking we might be able to have this a room with a double bed, this be a bathroom, and this we could squeeze a kid's room in here. As for making this look like it's from Batuu, we gotta get to work on that. Thankfully, we at least have a lot of like build items from Batuu that could work for us. And I'm also wondering if I can get some of these debug items to give us a little bit of a cooler exterior shape. I think something we could try is doing half walls here for the roof. We have to be a little bit careful because if this closes off as a room, it's going to count as tiles. But if I do that, it should be okay. But at least we can use our stone from Batuu that we love so much. And truly, out of all the plants in The Sims 4, I think we got the one that is most antithetical to Batuu. Wait, this isn't even the right one. It's this one, the very fancy topiary. I wonder if we could kind of put these on the sides and like kind of overlap them with some Batuu plants so that they look a little bit weirder. Whoa, if I take this debug awning and slide it right in there, that looks so cool and perfect. I'm not too worried about running out of budget. I'm actually more worried about not being able to use it all. I also kind of want this like salted earth terrain paint all around here. I feel like that's very Batuu. That might be our exterior for now because we do have to worry about what's going on inside. I'm definitely keeping our neutrals in here, and I'm thinking we can have like some pops of gold. That feels maybe kind of Batuu. The main thing here though is that we actually do not have a ton to work with. We could do a little bit of a dining area right here, but I don't actually know if that's our best use of space because we have the sofa and we could do a TV. Ah, wait, maybe we do the little bit of living area right here and we can squeeze in the dining table right behind it. I don't think we need that many chairs though. Maybe we do the rounded one. We could fit 3 chairs there and kind of put that up against the wall. That works. And one thing about Batuu is they do have a lot of fun hanging lights. So that can be a nice touch in the dining area. We don't have any kitchen counters, but I do kind of wonder if the Enchanted by Nature ones could do anything for us. I just feel like they have the right color scheme. But these 4 rent ones have that gold that I was looking for. Now, how am I laying this out? Am I getting like a nice skinny fridge to hopefully not interfere with the door right there? Ooh, very beige, so beige. I do know that we cannot clutter this counter, but we can get a couple wall items to maybe make this look a little bit more lived in. And we kind of are severely lacking windows. I guess we could get one right here. I would love if this window was like 20% smaller. It just seems very large. And Batuu does always have some interesting wall decorations for us. I do not think that I've ever used the power isolator. I can't say that it's something I'm always trying to use in my builds, you know? Why does that literally change the wall color though? Uh-oh, it's fine. Coming over to the bathroom now, I don't know exactly how we make this look like it would be in Batuu. We could use the like DIY shower because like when your sim goes to Batuu, they're like camping. And maybe that just kind of like fits with the aesthetic. I don't know. But do we have a Batuu looking sink? I'm like the outdoor retreat one, maybe. Just because it's so like stones and rocky. But I think maybe especially with Batuu, we have to have a little bit of flexibility because sometimes there's truly just like not the item that you're looking for in the style in which you are looking. And I feel like the storyline of this house could be like, oh, this family from Batuu just moved in. Kind of like Phil of the Future, like they're trying to be normal. Okay, are they really trying to be normal? I don't know. But it could be about their life in the regular sim world. We're going to come here to the parents' bedroom and we need a bed that is Batuu-like. I'm leaning towards this industrial loft bed. We do have this giant side table from Batuu and no mirror, but maybe this fitness stuff one could kind of work. And we do have some clutter in Batuu that we could use, such as the bug bite cure, the ancient vase. We have the porg carving. Okay, I'm gonna side size that down and maybe we can put that right there. And we have the lunar lantern, which I really quite like. I'm also kind of just placing down things as I remember. So I'm seeing we have these cool light fixtures. I think I'm gonna try to add a few of those. I would really like to add this rug just so that we have a little bit of that green, pop of green. And I think that will be our room for the adult and the young adult. I assume those are like the parents. And budget-wise, we still have like 20,000 left. So I'm like, let's use the really expensive single bed right here. Yes. And we do have this serious planning table that is like a desk. And I am just kind of wondering, first of all, if I can use the 10,000 simoleon computer, and is it functional if I do this with the door right there? I really feel like it wouldn't be, but maybe if I turn it this way and have it facing the bed, I can push the bed into the wall a little bit, bring this up, maybe use a chair like that. That way we have a desk and we are using up our budget. I'm not sure if I feel like using this side table again. Do we have anything that's kind of industrial? And we do literally have the industrial loft side table. And as for a mirror on the wall, I kind of like this one from Get to Work that has the like swooshies in it. Why did I just call it that? Now we have about 5,000 left. We're at 37,000. I forgot about the Kyber crystals. Those are 450 each. And the Millennium Falcon replica. Wait, I feel like a kid would totally have that in their room. I think the kid maybe like dreams of going back to Batuu and being a resistance pilot. I'll give them a little helmet. Should they have a resistance torpedo in their room? I don't know, but we can put one outside. Oh, and the toy BB unit, we have to add that in there too. I really like whatever we have going on here. We do still have about 2,100 simoleons left to use. We do not have a trash can. Oh, but we could use the Batuu one. Can we slide that just like outside here? Can we get some water pipes in the back there? Sure, why not? We have exactly 450 simoleons left that we need to use. Do we have any piece of clutter that is exactly 450? Okay, not really, actually. We have the Dome of Chroma that is 350. And we could just kind of put that out here and then find something that's 100. Like the board game set. Wait, let me throw that down there. So our build is no more than 49 tiles. We did style it like Batuu. There's room for an adult, a young adult, and a child. We're exactly on the budget, and we used the Tripiary twice. I didn't know how I would feel with it being just a straight up box, but I think we really nailed the Batuu look. So moving on to tiny home number 2, we are building a tiny home with no more than 30 tiles that looks like it belongs in Ravenwood. It has to have room for a young adult and 2 children with a budget of 18,000. We also have to use profit and apostrophes and rustic light source, which we used already from Batuu. Wait, everyone pause. I think my math was wrong on the last one. I think we need something else that is 100 simoleons. Hobby holders. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so Ravenwood is based on Transylvania. I actually have no idea how this house should look because here is our 30 tiles. What I'm thinking is that the kids have their own room and we do a 3-tile bathroom. I'm thinking we can use our brick features, the things that we have from the hack, but this is a style that I am not very familiar with at all. I'm wondering if the roof sculptures could just help us get that like life and death look, because I think I would love to add like another level or room or something, but I kind of don't think we can do that with our tile limit. I kind of maybe want to have something like this going on, and my mind is telling me to do the life and death door right here because that's symmetrical, but I'm kind of thinking we should do it over here and get like some other windows around. Just kidding. I don't like that. I was kind of really committed to using that door, but now I know I want these windows, so I'm thinking we should use this door and kind of have everything match a little bit like that. I would love to have these lamps on the outside, but they're a little pricey given that we only have 18,000 simoleons to work with. Oh, but they would really add to the vibe so nicely. Wait, I just realized something. Is this sidewalk counting towards the budget? Wait, no, wait, everyone. I've really messed up. That's been counting towards the budget. When I look at the lot value, it's 640 simoleons worth of simoleons. So that means this was under by 640 simoleons. Oh no. This is why you have to think about things when you put a sidewalk in your Sims build. You really got to consider the implications. The intricate cube, that's 300 simoleons. The comm tower is 295. 45, and we'll do the mega couple of books for 45 simoleons. Okay, so that is now the correct amount of simoleons, which means we're back on track here. I will add in the sidewalk later. Let's add in our lighting. My plan here was for the parent to have a Murphy bed. I know it doesn't 100% go with life and death, but space-wise, I think we could kind of make it work. Wait, no, this layout is getting really bad. I think the bed goes there. And then for the kitchen, oh, these are really expensive counters. I was like, how expensive could they be? Pretty expensive. But we're only using 2 of them because we're going to get the fridge and the stove as well. I do not think we have it in the budget to actually use these ones. This gives us about 7,000 left for the rest of the house, but I'm kind of cautiously optimistic. I kind of want the kids to have the owl wallpaper. I feel like that's kind of cute. For the bathroom, I was thinking these stones on the wall and the castle kit ones on the floor. I think I'll get us like a full proper shower. Maybe the life and death one. Is it worth the splurge? Just because we have a sink right there and it feels a bit redundant to put another one. It is so tough with this layout. I cannot decide if the Murphy bed should go this way or this way. I think it makes more sense going this way. For the kids' room, I'm doing a bunk bed and we are a little bit limited in these options in terms of like swatches and style, but I kind of like this one from Growing Together, and we could do a Dream Home Decorator one on the bottom because those have drawers, which won't function in the game as a dresser, but in my head, I'm like, oh, well, that's good then. I don't really know where a mirror should go. I guess we can put one in the kids' room since we really do not have room for much else at all, but I'll get them a little side table, and I'm trying to think if there's anything like useful I could put on here. The Whispering Wren messenger statue. I think that's actually the most useful thing I could put because it's cute. I'm almost wondering if this is just like an elaborate sitcom set and like it's all these different kinds of families that moved in and they're all trying to adapt to normal sim life, but like maybe since this is life and death, maybe there's a ghost that lives in this family. How would everyone feel if I changed the wallpaper to the one with the crows? Now that I have a little bit more of a blue accent going on in here, I kind of enjoy that. Yes. I guess actually we could get a couple toys in here. And then back out here to the main living area, I'm struggling. I think we could do a print like this on the wall. And then I think I'm going to do a dining table like this. It's like a very tight squeeze. Could I take 2 of the chairs off? That looks a lot better in my opinion. And then I do think I will add a laptop so that they have some form of entertainment because I'm not adding a TV. And speaking of that, I might also get a bookshelf in here. I think we do have it in the budget to get the life and death one. And we have about 1,400 simoleons left to work with. And I've done nothing on the outside. Wait, I totally entirely forgot about our required items. I think realizing I wasn't on the budget really threw me off, and I completely forgot that we need to use the one dresser. 775. What do? Make it a little outside thing, like, oh, there's our dresser of gardening supplies. Wait, what if I did do that? And we made this little garden area. Okay, and how much is the rustic light source? I'm kind of scared. 350, is that going to take us over? We have 218 simoleons to work with. I think what I'm actually going to do is get rid of these lights and maybe find some cheaper ones. Like, these are only 125 and the other ones were 225. So now we have 418 simoleons to work with. And I did want this to be a little garden area. We'll do a couple garden pots here and we'll get like some of the greenhouse haven items. So it looks like, yeah, for sure we have a little garden area. I'm like, could we get just a little chair right there? Let's be very intentional with our landscaping. That actually looks quite good from the front. And now we have 33 simoleons left. The Nature's Calling event stones are only 1 simoleon each. And I always say how nice and balanced the landscaping looks when you add stones. So this makes it so that we have 30 simoleons left. Oh my God, I literally was gonna say, is there any like 15 simoleon landscaping so that I can get like 2? There's these tall grasses. I actually do not like how those look. I'm like, you know what is 30 simoleons? The low-lying yellow pale flowers. And sometimes that might be what's worth it. Well, it's a lot less cluttered than I wanted it to be, but it is 30 tiles. The home is styled like Ravenwood as much as I can do. There's room for a young adult and 2 children. We hit our budget and we did include our 2 required items. What I'm actually going to do right now before going on to the next one is adding in our sidewalk back. I just feel like that really helps me visualize how our tiny home village is looking. Now we can move on to the next one. one. So for tiny home number 3, we are building a tiny home with no more than 95 tiles that looks like it belongs in Moonwood Mill. It has to have room for a teen, a child, and a dog. A budget of only 24,000. We have to include the Cat Loves Food Inc. professional grade warming rack and the Deep Thoughts bookcase somewhere. I'm very conflicted here because on one hand, I'm like, yay, we have so many tiles. But on the other, I'm like, we don't really have a budget for that many tiles. Not to get too technical, but it says no more than 94 tiles. And right now this is 83. And we are supposed to be in the style of Moonwood Mill, which is like kind of old factory town a little bit, but like a little bit run down. Man, remember game packs? Wow, what a concept. I'm kind of thinking something like this for the exterior. And I gotta be watching our budget. We've already used 4,000. How about our rough and tumble tile? And I think I'm actually going to shrink up our entryway a little bit just so that this room can be bigger. I think I made this house too big. Already I'm like, oh no, 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 this was a bad idea. I think I'll just try to like use as few windows and other things as possible. In my head, this is like a kid and a teen who live on their own. But I am thinking they also fit into the storyline of the lot here. Like maybe they are werewolves and they have to keep that secret from the town or something like that. They're not doing a good job at keeping it a secret though when their house is like furnished entirely by werewolves items. So I'm thinking we do a little bit of a living area here with the werewolves couch and a table with a little TV like that. I'm getting some clutter in the entryway, but I don't know if it'll last because of budget constraints. Basket of cozies is only 50 simoleons though. Basket of cozies could never hurt me. Can we get like a cozy rug? I'm almost thinking the fluffy rug just because it's only 15 simoleons and I feel like it does really great work for 15 simoleons. I'm just gonna get a little bit of these fairy soiree lights up there. I'm definitely spending way too much time and budget in here right now. I'm just trying to make it look homey. Giving us this big of an area for the kitchen does kind of force me to use the cheapest counters and stuff. I'm like, could we splurge and have the not run down fridge? Could we splurge and have the not already used stove? Maybe this was like the old storage area for the tiny home village and that's why it's like kind of run down. We do have enough space for like this werewolf's dining table, have kind of like an eat-in kitchen moment right there. We do have the werewolf's rug. I'm saving us 50 simoleons and I'm using the rundown version of it. Ooh, factory rubble. Is it worth 35 simoleons? We'll revisit that. Ooh, maybe they're runaways. Maybe they're runaway werewolves and that's why it's just a teen and a kid. The next thing I want to do before we do the bedrooms is come into the bathroom here. I would love to be able to do a shower tub combo, but that's 2,100 simoleons. What about the 1,500 simoleon one? I don't really feel strongly about any of these swatches though. Maybe the cheap one, the 845 simoleon one. We could put the pea bush out here in the backyard as well. Oh, especially because I didn't think about landscaping on this one either. But we will have that. We'll get our really cheap toilet. And then I know it's risky. It's a big ask. But what about double sinks? Like we could fit these two. Maybe one of the kids that lives here is really handy with plumbing and they found an old sink somewhere and they were like, you know what? I'll hook that up for us. We can have 2 sinks. That will work for our bathroom. I can add more if we have budget for it. But 13,300 for the 2 bedrooms is not bad at all, especially because I made this one so big. Why did I do that? Wait a minute. There's a dog that lives here. We can do the food bowl. Maybe the dog gets a nice big pet bed in the room with the teen. And we can get a couple toys around there as well. I was thinking that this bed from Outdoor Retreat could kind of work for us. Oh, and we can do the tarps on the windows. Oh, the werewolf's dresser. I like forgot that a lot of these things existed. I'm gonna be so honest, this does not feel like a tiny home to me. Like I know it is in the context of the game something that would fit into the tiny home residential lot type. I think maybe since my natural build style is like smaller homes in general, that it doesn't feel much different to me. I kind of want to do this on the walls. It makes it feel very like cabin-ish, cabin-y. Oh, and we'll get like some posters on the wall here. I'm also looking at some stuff from Strangeville just because I feel like weirdness vibes, they're kind of adjacent. I don't think this little love seat will be functional, but I like the idea of there being a sitting area in here. Wait, where does the werewolf's mirror go? Maybe we do this one and then this can go in the kids' room, maybe like right there. I think this bedroom is mostly done for the essentials. I want to come in here to the kids' room now so that we can like kind of get this going before we start running out of budget. I think the kids' room is going to have a desk solely because I forgot to put it in the last room. I'll give them a laptop so that like the teen sim can grab it if they need to use it. And maybe we do the purple chair there because it kind of matches the purple pillow right there. Maybe the kid can have the moon decal and a poster also. Would I like the smaller desk in here better? I can't decide. Honestly, the random door one does kind of make it feel a bit more full. So how many of you have been screaming at the screen telling me to remember the items that I need to add in here? I don't know why both times I've forgotten it. We need to add the Cat Loves Food professional grade warming rack, which kind of makes sense in a werewolf's context almost. We could actually get rid of our entryway clutter and put this in here in the entryway. Maybe they just always have some extra snacks on deck. The thing that I'm worried about is I think the bookcase we have to use is really expensive. Yeah, 1,745. We might be able to squeeze it here in the kids' room. Maybe put the poster over here in the mirror above the desk. Well, that ate into our budget a little bit more than I wanted it to, but I think we'll still be okay because we do have all the essentials. Like, I'm gonna make sure I add a little toy for the kid. I'm gonna just grab a little bit more clutter for the teen room. We might even have the budget to get a couple window boxes out here. I am realizing I forgot a trash can in the last tiny home. That's tough. Oh, we don't have a sink in the kitchen. I don't know why it took me so long to realize that as well. We maybe have the budget to get us some kitchen cabinets, which is always a nice little touch. Ooh, living large with a burglar alarm and maybe even a thermostat. We can clutter one of these counters, and I might choose to have it be the corner one. We can get some paper towels, a little Dutch oven. We should have a little centerpiece on the dining table, maybe some fruit. Now I'm going to have the luxury, the privilege of landscaping this a little bit without major concern for the budget. Okay, maybe a little bit of concern. Oh, we don't have any lighting outside. We could get this one from Cats and Dogs, maybe get one on each side. We don't have any landscaping going on here. Let's just get a little bit. Okay, 176 simoleons. I might just grab like another rock because it's 1 simoleon. We could get a garden plot right there. Any 25 simoleon anything. One of these hedges. Okay, wait, so that was our exact budget. The most important thing is that I actually remembered everything on our list. Oh my God, this window isn't centered. I'm allowed to change that. That's fine. But we did no more than 95 tiles. We styled the build like Moonwood Mill. We have room for a teen, a child, and a dog. We hit our budget on the dot, and we did remember to include those items. So moving on to our last tiny home, we have to build a tiny home with no more than 64 tiles that looks like it belongs in Windenburg. It has to have room for 2 adults, 2 young adults, 2 children, a newborn, and a dog with a budget of only 22,440. It must also include the Sapphire Suns flower pot somewhere. I'm scared. I'm so scared. 2 adults and 2 young adults. I'm thinking we could have 2 couples. So that means we need 2 rooms with a double bed each. And like minimum, that is what we're looking at. 2 children and a newborn. I'm thinking that they could share a room and we could have something like that. This is just me like doing a rough draft of the tiles. So this is 64 tiles. We also need a bathroom and we need room for a dog. Oh my gosh. They really saved the hardest for last. I'm adding in our item right there right now just so that I don't forget. So what if we did the kids and the newborn room right here? We could do a bunk bed and then a bassinet. Functionality wise, that will work. I think this is the bathroom and then these 2 are bedrooms. I think that will maximize our livable area so our house doesn't get like eaten by hallways. Do you know what I mean? Now to roof this and do this in the style of Windenburg, maybe we can do something like this and then kind of have something like this going on. I have no idea. I would love some little accents, a little chimney or something. I really do not think that we have anywhere close to the budget for that. I'm not even thinking about landscaping right now. If we are lucky enough at the end, we will attempt. But for now, I'm like, let's just get the bare minimum, the basics. For the bathroom here, we do need a bathtub. So I am thinking that we do use our budget and we get a shower tub combo like that. We could squeeze a toilet in and that should be functional. And then we could have a sink on this side and have it be like a full bathroom. I think that's actually not too bad of an idea. Mainly because in a house like this, I feel like you definitely want 2 sinks. Let's get a double bed here and another one here. And before you comment, I know you want to comment right now that, oh, the Sims can't get in on the other side. They can scoot. The Sims can scoot. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. They will scoot. It's okay. We are in fact doing bunk beds again. I kind of think I need to get the cheapest ones. We need a bassinet. Now, if we squeeze that right there, hear me out, we could maybe squeeze in the tiny living dresser. I really thought this was going to be a room that was literally just beds and the bassinet. But look, we can squeeze in the dresser. it's great. I think we can also get a mirror on the wall and maybe like a couple cool posters for the kids. I feel like this is kind of like blended family. Like they all ended up moving in together and they're making it work. Honestly, the space isn't that bad. For what your Sims need, what your Sims require, they have everything. I will say it is kind of difficult to think about budget and space. Like normally thinking about one or the other is my thing, but having to think about both, I'm like, oh, I don't know what's going on. It's not great that that counter has the lip on it, but I guess we'll survive. We can do the sink right there and the stove and the fridge right next to each other. I would love like 4 seats around the dining table. I don't know how realistic that is for the space. It could work right here. Also, in my opinion, Windenburg has a much stronger exterior aesthetic than interior. Like that home is fitting right in Windenburg, but some of the interior stuff ends up being pretty modern. When it comes to the living area, I think in my head, I had a lot more space. I was like, oh yeah, I can do a 3-seater couch right here and then a TV right there. But then we can't really do our dining area like that. I don't even know how we would do a dining area at all, but maybe this is one of those houses where we don't do a dining area. Actually, we could do this. I think this is probably our best bet. I feel like for entertainment and stuff, it could be worth it to also have like a toy box since there's 2 kids and a newborn who will of course grow up to be a kid. What I wanted to do over here was have a desk. That's a choice, but it does work. What about some blue on the wall? Does that brighten it up at all? And I'm also like, where can a pet bowl go? I actually think we could squeeze one right there. We could have a couple toys for the dog like laying around outside. Now for the dog bed. Wait, this is like a nice big area. We could put one right here. Could we actually squeeze in a little dresser right there? Now we really have to think about like what goes on the wall here. Maybe the parenthood posters, like the kids have taken over the decorating. I feel like that kind of does make sense. Maybe let's also add the hobby board. Okay, exactly 4,200 left. I think I'll just get like some clutter for the bedside tables, maybe splurge on some decorations for the walls. Oh, the tiny living kitchen shelf hasn't made an appearance yet. There should be a trash can somewhere in the house, but we don't have room for that. So the trash can goes outside the house. They also get a smoke detector. We're living large with a burglar alarm and a thermostat. We actually have like a decent amount of budget left for how much I've squeezed in the house already. I guess we do not have a single rug, and maybe to maximize enjoyment of the rug, we could put it out here in the living area. If you would like to enjoy having a rug, you can come out to the living area right there. I think we definitely could get this one in the kids' room, and maybe even splurge on the city living fluffy rug in one of the parents' rooms or grandparents' rooms. Maybe it's grandparents and their kids just moved back in with the grandkids. The children can enjoy a plant in their room. Maybe we do have budget for landscaping. We actually have so much budget, I'm just throwing things wherever I can think of them. Maybe they're just very outdoorsy. They've devoted a bunch of their budget and money and space to the land, the landscaping. How about a couple lights like that? They could even have a bird bath. How nice is that? And a welcome mat. I was like, oh, we could put some family photo frames, which we can, but those are 0 simoleons, so that doesn't really matter. 165 left. Maybe we could get like some games right there by the computer. Some books because we love education. I think maybe we'll just get this little 35 simoleon pair right there. Now, how did they fit into the storyline? I don't know. But I think we did achieve. We did no more than 64 tiles. We styled it like Windenburg. There's room for all of those Sims. We hit our budget on the dot again, and we did remember to include our items. So I think I'm gonna do a little bit of like landscaping and organizing this lot off camera, but here is the final tour. You can see kind of like the common areas that I added. And let me know what you thought of this challenge. I love doing tiny homes. I love doing any kind of randomized challenge. So I do hope you enjoyed it. Comment down below any other ideas you have, any other ones you might want to see, and let me know which one of these was your favorite. I kind of think the Batuu one was my favorite, but I think that's also because it's just something so different from what I normally do, so it's really sticking out to me right now. And if you made it this far in the video, let me know by commenting a heart eyes emoji. That's just the vibes for today. And if you did like this video, don't forget to give it a like and also subscribe to my channel for more fun Sims build challenges. YouTube thinks you will like whatever one is on the screen right now, so go check it out, see if YouTube was right. All my socials are linked down below. I do live stream on Twitch every weekend. And other than that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a lovely tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!